Hey everyone, do another podcast today. Today we're joined by Only John, who's our boy.
Yeah.
Welcome to the squad, bro. Welcome to the squad.
Welcome.
Appreciate you guys for having me. I
Yep,
appreciate
no
it.
problem. It's long overdue, bro.
Thanks.
So we're just gonna talk about The Last Dance. I don't know if you guys watched it, but it's Michael Jordan's documentary, and we just want to dissect it and just talk about our takeaways. So John, you can go first. Like, what was your main takeaways from The Last Dance?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I had a few takeaways. I'd probably say, I felt like they could have depicted the help a little better than how they actually portrayed them, like MJ's teammates. Because yeah, I feel like they mainly focused on just like Scottie Pippen, and they had like a little mini segment with Dennis Rodman. But I feel like even like Tony Kukoc and like the surrounding cast, there was like a lot more things that were that could have been dissected a lot better. You know what I'm saying? And I also feel like even like him losing early on in his careers, that's something that people don't really talk about. When they talk about Michael Jordan, I feel like they kind of like skip over his first, 6, 7 years and whatnot, and kind of just only highlight, the fact that this dude has 6 championships, which I get it because, in my opinion, he is the greatest of all time. But it's just like, we can't just act like that didn't happen. You know what I'm saying?
They'll do the same for LeBron. It's like as soon as time passes, 10 years from now, when LeBron's out the league, they're gonna be talking like they always loved him, didn't show him any hate.
That's
Because
facts.
if you watch the documentary, they were criticizing MJ. Like I remember, the shot over Elo in the 1989 playoffs versus Cleveland, like that buzzer hit.
Mm-hmm.
The announcer said he was out of the playoffs. They were like, they're gonna lose in 5. Jordan's not winning. Like they were criticizing him a lot, and that made me realize, like, wait, Jordan was getting critiqued too. It's like it's not just LeBron. It's like
Exactly.
when you're playing, they don't respect you at all. They don't respect you until you're done.
Yeah, that's the sad truth about sports, man. And sports fans, they have like a short-term memory, which sucks in a way too. So it's just like I get it at the same time, you know what I'm saying? Because, like everybody always says when they see Michael Jordan, he has this aura about him. He's so great and it's ridiculous. But you have to remember this dude's still human, you know what I'm saying? He lost to the Pistons, you know what I'm saying? He lost to the Celtics. He got beat up until he got,
bulked up a little bit.
You know what I'm saying? So he bulked up, got Scotty and Rodman and, you know what I'm saying, and Phil Jackson.
Yeah, exactly.
So, it took some time, but those are definitely like my top 2 key takeaways. My third one, I'd probably say, he's a dog. I feel like they didn't highlight him scoring enough, in my opinion, because I don't think they talked about it like in this way. But Michael Jordan came to the league averaging like 28 points. You know what I'm saying?
He dropped 64 in his second year.
I mean, not only just his scoring, because his scoring was ridiculous. Like the dude averaged 30 like mad times. Like it actually makes no sense, and he's barely taking threes. You know what I'm saying? Like when you actually look at it, like look it up, it's like, bro, like there's a lot of things that they didn't talk about, and I get it because, you know what I'm saying, they didn't want to make it like this crazy long documentary, and they only had, you know what I'm saying, they only want to cover a certain amount of time, but still, like I wanted to say also, like it wasn't just his scoring that was amazing too. You know what I'm saying? Like he passed really well, he defended really well, but I feel like one thing that was really funny about this documentary too is like they almost made me feel like he kind of like any little thing that happened, he took it and ran with it to like give himself a reason to force it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I'm just like, damn, like this dude's kind of tapped.
Nah, like he made up a story about some dude like saying, "Oh, good game, MJ." He's like, "Yeah, after that game, I dropped 50 on him the next game."
Yeah,
like, I never even said that.
Right?
I'm like, yo, this
that's
dude,
crazy.
bro.
That's nuts, bro. That's nuts. That's a different mentality I ain't never seen before.
That Mamba mentality supreme, bro. Like he took it to another level.
Yeah, facts.
But like, yeah, Fritz, what was your takeaways from the documentary?
Definitely Scottie Pippen with a cheap contract. I did not like the general manager at all. Bro, especially with the last episode, I feel like he should have kept the team together if they wanted to win like 7 rings. It's just like he was trash at the end of the day. I just feel like they did overpay MJ, but they could have definitely like cut it down to like Horace Grant. They should have never let him go. Like Rodney was all right, but
nah, he was elite. They needed him.
I don't know. Horace
Defender?
Grant,
nah, all right, so here's the thing. MJ was underpaid for a lot of his career. So it's like it wasn't until like those last 3 years, like 96 to 98, where he's getting 30 mil a year. But most of his money came from endorsements. So it's like they didn't need to pay him that much. Scotty, he took a front-loaded deal, which is like, we'll pay you this much. We'll pay you $2 million now, but like your contract's not gonna increase. You're gonna get longevity and security, but not that much money. And they did tell him he can't restructure it. Like they told him like you shouldn't sign this. But like I understand where Scotty was coming from. His family, I think it's from.
He wanted to support the family,
Exactly.
especially his dad. Yeah.
He had like 7 or 8 siblings, so I don't blame him one bit. But they still should have looked out for him, man. Like they did him dirty.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Best believe. And this other thing about MJ is I think he was just selfish when it comes to basketball. Like, don't get me wrong, he's a great player. But outside of basketball, he did not give 2 shits about the community, bro. Especially the black community. Like, especially, I think it was like an election period during the mayor was running, whatever. MJ did not support him whatsoever. He was just like, yo, listen.
Controversy.
Yeah, you feel me? Like, if you compare that to LeBron does so much. And he's my GOAT. You know, even John could agree. JJ could agree, but I don't know. That's what I see.
So the way I took the last, I mean, do you have any more points on it, or was that everything?
That's everything.
So the way I took the Last Dance, first of all, it shouldn't be called the Last Dance. It should be called Michael Jordan's Last Year, okay? Because it was all about Michael Jordan. It was critiqued by Michael Jordan, and it wasn't even really about the 1998 Bulls. It was about every other year leading up to that year. We was always like in 1993 when he like three-peated the first time. We always talked about like how he lost to the Celtics. Like we really spent a lot of time going through the previous years before he even got to 1998. And at the end of it, I was like, we barely talked about this year. Like the only thing I know about this year was Reggie Miller almost knocked him out in Game 7. Scotty missed the first half of the season because he had ankle surgery in the summer. He delayed it because he didn't care about the team, which we can get to that later on because I don't really blame him for that. But also, it's like Scottie Pippen was the most important player on the Bulls. Like, he wasn't the best player, but he was the most important player on the Bulls because without him, Michael Jordan's not winning any rings. I'm sorry. Michael Jordan was scoring 50, 60 points a night. They were still losing. Michael Jordan had one job to score. Scottie had to play defense, rebound, and pass. And if you think about it, LeBron does all 4 of those. Actually, I'm going to take away the defense. LeBron does not play defense. I'm going to say that right now. But he flopped.
That's cap.
LeBron gets chased down blocks. But if you think he really plays defense now, you're bugging.
Wait, let me say something real quick. Like, here's the thing, though. LeBron James, in my opinion, is a more versatile defender than Michael Jordan. I personally think that he is a better defender than Michael Jordan.
He might be a more capable defender, he's physically more capable to play defense.
I think that he's gotten robbed, in my opinion. I think LeBron has been overlooked in his defense, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? There was one year he lost it to Marc Gasol. I think it was
2013.
13, right? Yeah, it was 13 where he lost to Marc Gasol. When
Marc Gasol was second team all defense.
Second team all defense, and he wasn't even like top 10 in voting. You know what I'm saying?
But then he won Defensive Player of the Year, and I'm like,
Defensive Player of the Year over LeBron James, which is ridiculous. So, you know what I'm saying? I feel like LeBron James, people look at his freak athleticism and everything that he can do offensively on the court, and it kind of like in a way diminishes defensive capabilities, which is like surreal in my opinion. So you know what I'm saying, when I just look at every single category, it's like, man, what can this man not do is really the question. But Michael Jordan is just like, you know, that's what Fritz was saying, man. He was, in my opinion, I agree, he was selfish. You know what I'm saying? Like outside of the basketball court, it was just like, bro, you gotta understand that these people have lives that is just not the same as yours when it's just strictly basketball. You know what I mean? And I felt like he never really understood that, or not understood that, but really acknowledged it. Fully, so. You know what I'm saying?
No, like that's a great point too. And then also we can talk about how in the documentary, it was basically all dictated by MJ. Everything was dictated by MJ. Like, one of the things that stood out to me the most wasn't even really in the documentary. It was the fact that he felt the need to give it the green light on the day LeBron James is celebrating his 3rd championship. Now, I don't think he was insecure. I just think it was his competitive edge. Because, you know, you see, he knows LeBron James is great. But he wanted to remind us, like, hey, I'm still the GOAT. I still got 6 rings. What he did is incredible. Even though Golden State got 73 wins, I had 72 and I won the championship. So I felt like at that day, he felt the need to remind us, like, hey, I'm still here. Don't forget about me. Don't get complacent. And that spoke a lot to me about not only his competitive edge, but just how great LeBron James is. Because LeBron has half the rings MJ does. But I know deep down in MJ's mind that he knows LeBron James is better than Kobe Bryant. He won't say it, but he knows it. He's more intimidated by LeBron James because he always says Kobe's better because he has 5 rings. But then I'm like, you only say Kobe's better because whatever Kobe does, you get the credit for. And that was displayed in episode 5. Like Kobe was like really young in the All-Star game, and MJ's like he wants to make it a one-on-one battle. And I'm like, MJ loves it because he sees Kobe. When he looks at him, when he sees Kobe, he looks at himself. And that's why he can relate to Kobe. So when he sees LeBron, he feels intimidated because LeBron can do everything he can and possibly more. So that's why I feel like he always like gives like a slight edge to like Kobe because he's kind of a little bit intimidated by LeBron. But then also in the documentary, it doesn't highlight enough just how great of an impact Phil Jackson had on Michael Jordan. Like to be able to play with a great coach like that, who's like, because he told MJ, listen, the ball in your hands is not enough. Like, we're not winning like this. So then they instilled the triangle offense, and that's what got MJ the rings. MJ scoring, he was basically James Harden. He was putting up a lot of points.
That's facts.
He was putting up a lot of points, but then they weren't winning, you know? So until the ball was out of his hands, that's when they started winning. But my final takeaway from the documentary, it really wasn't about the Bulls. It was all dictated by MJ. I love MJ. I respect MJ. I do believe he's technically the greatest player in the NBA because of his resume, but I don't believe he's the best. You know what I'm saying? I think greatest and best are 2 different things.
I agree.
But it could get to that. Also, it's like, who are you guys' top 5 players like in NBA history?
Sure. I could definitely go first. Let me start with 5.
Yeah.
Probably have to go with Larry Bird, the greatest Celtics of all time.
Of course, easily.
He could pass, he could score, he could rebound, he could do everything, bro.
Yeah.
That's an overall player, all around. I got to give him the 5 spot. Number 4, definitely Magic Johnson. Like they both Larry Bird and Magic Johnson dominated the 80s, bro.
That's
and
crazy.
Yeah, in the dog, MJ was actually jealous of those 2 just because they won 3 rings. And he was like, yo, I do all this scoring, but I never got those rings. Exactly. That was his biggest milestone. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to give Magic the number 4 spot. Number 3, definitely Kareem. I feel like he's highly – people sleep on him. A lot of people be like, nah, Bill Russell's better just because of rings. But if you think about the style of basketball back then was not elite compared to now, especially during the 80s or 90s especially. So I got to give him that. And his scoring record as well. I don't think no one's going to reach that. Probably LeBron. I'll give LeBron maybe a couple more years.
Yeah, LeBron could pass him probably.
Yeah. For sure. And then number 2, I'm probably going to go with MJ just because the 6 rings, the dog, he's an amazing player. He knows how to close out games. His scoring titles, his championships, finals MVP. You know, I can't give up MJ on the 2 spots. So, number 1, LeBron. I'm telling you, bro, Game 7 against Golden State, bro, that proves it all, bro. He was like number 1 in every stat category, bro. Like if you don't think he's a GOAT after that performance, go smoke some crack. For real, like yo, he's a force, bro. I gotta give him that. And that Golden State team was better than the '98 Bulls. You know, like that was legendary. What about y'all?
Yeah, John, who's your top 5 players of all time?
Top five. So I think I'm gonna follow the same approach. So number 5, I'll say Kobe Bryant. I felt like this dude is just, man, we all know Kobe, rest in peace. Like he's a dog. There's like, in my opinion, the hardest worker of all time. In my opinion, the most crazy mentality of all time. Broken fingers, he'll shoot with the left. You know what I'm saying? 5 a.m. in the gym. He's shooting. He's warming up like 4 hours before the damn game. Like, what the hell's wrong with this dude? You know what I'm saying? Doesn't go to the clubs. Just, you know what I'm saying? He's just a dog.
Did you hear what they did in the 08 Olympics? How before, like, they even had their practice, he's doing the gym 3 hours before. And then D-Wade gets there, and he's like, oh, what's up, Kobe? And Kobe's
and he's sweating. Yeah.
Them so they can go to practice.
Yeah. He's different. He's different. I feel like, you know what I'm saying? That's just a different mentality that only, like, a few people I see a little bit that have that. Greatness. Like, maybe, like, like that. It's like that greatness, the mentality. Because you can have the mentality, but I feel like the work ethic behind it is what really put him
You got to be
over the
willing
top.
To sacrifice your life.
Exactly, because I feel like some people have the mentality, like a little bit of it. Like I see, like Westbrook, like he always says, "Why not?" Like that's kind of crazy too. Like even with the triple.
Yeah.
But like the work ethic behind it, like what you were saying about like the D Wade story, like even showing up hours ahead of time, like consistently, bro, you're nuts. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely put him at my number 5 spot. I'll put. Ooh.
A lot.
Tough. Damn. Could I say like 5A and 5B? Could I do that?
Yeah.
Okay. Cause I want to put Kobe and Shaq 5A, 5B. 5A, 5B. Because to me it's like interchangeable. I'm gonna give Shaq the slight edge, but I also feel like Kobe has to be in my top 5 too. So I'm gonna keep it like that. You know what I'm saying? And then number 4, I'm gonna say Larry Bird. Larry Bird, man, he's a winner. You know what I'm saying? He can do everything. His passing ability is super underrated for those who don't know. Yeah, we all know he can shoot the lights out, but his playmaking ability is like it's
before
like
LeBron came, he was considered the best passer. But
his passing is nuts. Like people really need to look at that. Number 3, I'd probably say, ooh.
Getting tough.
Kareem. I think I said Kareem.
Yep.
We all know he's a bucket. You know what I'm saying? I think he won a chip in Milwaukee with Oscar Robertson.
Yeah.
Obviously in the Lakers, he put in all that work too. He's nuts. Number 2, I'd say Michael Jordan. I feel like Michael Jordan is the greatest player of all time. With like when I say that, I mean pretty much like as an icon, super iconic, worldwide famous. His shoes speaks for itself. His image speaks for itself. The 6-0 speaks for itself. I feel like. Yeah, I feel like this dude is just like he's the greatest assassin. When I look at him, I see the greatest assassin to ever live. I see someone who's gonna rip your heart out, doesn't give a fuck who you are, will literally create a fake story, just to kill you. You know what I'm saying? So when I see Michael, man, in my opinion, I know Kareem has the most points, but I look at Michael and I'm like, bro, like he's the greatest. Like I'm gonna get a bucket. He's the greatest bucket getter I've ever seen.
If he needs to get it, you're not stopping him.
Yeah.
He's gonna find a way.
He's gonna find a way. You know what I'm saying? And then number 1, I'll definitely say LeBron James because I feel like LeBron James, when I look at this dude, it's like not only like as I said earlier, everything like what can't this man do? Like he can do everything, but just like I think he has this thing in him that few people possess. I see it in Magic Johnson, where it's like he could elevate the people around him, to win a championship, regardless of the talent level. Yeah, regardless of the talent of the supporting cast, which is insane. Like the man will literally have individuals who, you know what I'm saying, borderline all-stars, if not even close to all-stars, and still has an expectation of going to the ECF, WCF, if not finals, every single year. You know what I mean? Even as an old guy, a washed guy,
17 years
right now, it's still like, you know, he's putting in work on playing at an MVP level. You know what I'm saying? Him or Giannis toss up. And it's just like his longevity is ridiculous, passing, scoring, and he's not even a scorer for his play.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. And he's already third all time.
Yeah. And he's just, in my opinion, he's just the most efficient, driven, you know what I'm saying? Like, his mentality's on the level. He's just the best basketball player, in my opinion. Like, there's just nobody else I could say who is better than him.
Yeah.
So for me, my number 5.
That's a great list.
Yeah, that was a great list. I wouldn't put Shaq in my number 5. For the sole fact that I feel like he underachieved. It's weird because he has an MVP, 4 championships, 3 finals MVP. But Shaq literally had the capabilities of being the greatest player of all time. Think about how dominant he was, bro. Nobody was touching him. He was averaging 30 and 15 in his sleep. Okay, and if he came to camp in shape, he would have made a crazy difference. Like him and Kobe could have 6 or 7, 8 rings. They only got 3. So I was damn. And then Kobe even said if Shaq was in shape, we would have been way more dominant. The Spurs were not touching them. They wouldn't have lost to the Pistons. They should not have lost to the damn Pistons, bro. Okay. They had Karl Malone. They had Kobe.
That team was legit, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
I respect the Pistons back then. I respect the
crazy.
Pistons. The defensively, they were crazy. Tayshaun Prince, Richard Hamilton, Big Shot Billups, all of them. I respect them.
Yeah,
but I give them the same thing I give the 2011 Mavericks. They should not have a ring. If the superstars play the way they did, like the Mavericks, you think the Mavericks should have a ring right now?
Hey, man.
No.
I mean, I'm happy they got. I'm happy they got a ring though. I'm happy they got.
I'm happy
a ring.
Dirk went off.
I really wanted Dirk to get a ring.
No, I'm happy Dirk went off. But listen, LeBron was choking that whole series, bro. He was scared, bro. D Wade was their best player, and they blew a 15-point lead with like 4 minutes left in game 2. I remember watching that game live. Him and D Wade are throwing each other punches and shit in the sideline, like celebrating with 4 minutes left just to blow the lead. Like,
oh my god,
you know what I'm saying? I was like, and then they should have beat the Mavericks in 5 games. But anyways, back to my point. It's like number 5. I can't have Shaq. I feel like he underachieved. He should have been way more dominant than he was. Could have been the greatest player of all time, but he isn't. So my number 5, I'm probably gonna put. I'll probably put. I can't put Kobe. I love Kobe. He's my greatest player of all. He's my favorite player of all time. But I feel like even with Tim Duncan, it's like they got comparable resumes. Hakeem could go there anywhere. Anybody can go there. But definitively, I'll probably put Larry Bird at 5 because Larry Bird, 3 rings, 3. He's the last person to win 3 straight MVPs. That's like a good. That's a good thing to know. And he won 3 championships. He was just crazy in the 80s. Like at one point, people who lived in the 80s, they keep telling me he was better than Magic. They were like, he was better than Magic. But then
he definitely was, in my opinion.
His career was like 10 to 12 years because he had back injuries, so he didn't last long. Magic got more rings, so that's probably why I'll put him at number 4. And I think he has like 2 or 3 MVPs too. But then again, Magic had the luxury of playing with Kareem. So now I'm like, all right, I don't know. If you didn't have Kareem, I know you'd be great, but like, would you have all the success? Because Bird had a great team, but he didn't have Kareem. So that's why I put Magic at the 4, 5 chips. It speaks for itself. And then number 3, I probably put Kareem because 38K points. Like I'm like, how is he scoring that much points in the 70s and the 80s? Like, it was barely a 3-point line. He just had the sky hook for 2 points, all these rebounds. He was 7 feet, but he was efficient. Like he was Tim Duncan before Tim Duncan. So that's Kareem at number 3. And then 2, this is where it could be interchangeable depending on the day. I personally think, right, that number 2 is LeBron James, but I'm only saying that because of the circumstances around the situation, right? When I see greatest player, I think about what you achieved, what you accomplished. Jordan can only accomplish from the position he was in. It's not Jordan's fault he had Phil Jackson. It's not his fault he had Scottie Pippen. He had the luxury of having those people that enabled him to be a great player. You feel me? So it's like he was in that position, but I can't disrespect him by saying, "Oh, but LeBron didn't have." Like, no, Jordan, you gotta take the cards that you're given. You feel me? And he won like 5 MVPs, 6 Finals MVPs, 6 rings, 6 for 6 in the finals. I'm like, damn, you go to the finals 6 times and you don't lose once. You don't even go to a game 7. I'm like, damn. You feel me? So then that happens, and then I'm just thinking about defensive player and MVP in the same season. I'm like, that's crazy. That's really crazy. And he was dominant. Like in the 90s, nobody's winning a ring. Not Patrick Ewing. Not John Stockton, not Karl Malone, not Gary Payton, not Sean Kemp. He kept everybody from getting rings. Bron's letting everybody have their turn. Steph got a ring. KD got a ring. It's like, I don't
talk about KD.
Hey, listen. That's
don't
another
talk about KD.
Well, my thing is, it's not LeBron's fault that he faced greater competition, you feel me? Like, I'm not going to hold it against him that he had to face the Dynasty Spurs and the Dynasty Warriors, but I got to go based off of what I'm given. Jordan didn't have to face that, but Jordan dominated his competition. LeBron has been dominant, but he's not dominating to the point where nobody else is winning. So that's why I'm like, LeBron, I personally think he's the best player. He could be the best player of all time, given the circumstances and everything he had to work with. He also didn't have to have Phil Jackson and shit, but I can't really control that narrative from him. But given everything Jordan did and accomplished and how dominant he was against his competition, I got to give LeBron the 2 spot. And then number 1, I explained everything about Jordan. It's Michael Jordan. But even with me saying that, this is why I put LeBron above MJ, and it's not even close. Off the court, LeBron is a hero. LeBron is an icon. LeBron has done more than any athlete in American sports ever has. Maybe Muhammad Ali could be up there too, but LeBron's built schools for people. He's actively speaking out for the Black Lives Matter movement. Like, LeBron has an ultimate respect for me. And that alone, I'm like, he the greatest player of all time if you combine his on the court and his off the court achievements. That's where I'm like, Jordan can't touch LeBron. LeBron is amazing. He does everything by the book. He came from nothing, single mother, everything. He's done it by the book. He's never had controversy off the court. He's highly scrutinized every day. They're like, oh, man, LeBron James only scored 25 points. If they got 30, like, you know what I'm saying? LeBron's not compared to anybody else in the league. He's compared to the greats. Nobody else in the league is even close. Like, KD's probably the second best player when he's healthy. He's not even close to LeBron.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, this level sits.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree. Like, off the court, I feel like he's, like, damn near untouchable. You know what I'm saying? One thing I just want to, like, highlight is, like, I just get confused in regards to just, like I get it, like, MJ, he never lost. And, of course, like, LeBron had harder competition.
Yeah.
My thing is, like, it's just a question for you guys. Like, what do you guys hold to, like, what do you guys think is a better achievement? Like, to lose at the highest level, like in the finals, or to lose in the playoffs? Because I know people always kill most of the people I know that say MJ's the GOAT is mainly because of his win. He never lost the finals.
Yeah.
Mainly because LeBron lost in the finals is why they don't put him as the GOAT. So my question is just like, all right, well, wouldn't you say that it's a greater accomplishment to lose in the finals than to lose in the playoffs? What do you guys think?
Fritz, you want to go first?
I think the biggest accomplishment is probably to lose in the finals for sure. Just because, like, think about the season without Kyrie, Game 7 against the Celtics. Like, LeBron put that team on his back. And then, unfortunately, he didn't win the finals, but I got to give him credit. That Game 7 series, if you put MJ in that situation, Celtics would have easily swept them, without a doubt. LeBron, as I said before, he, like, legit lead the stats pad with steals, blocks, rebounds, like, without a doubt. So definitely, I would definitely put LeBron over MJ when it comes to, like, accomplishments, especially, like, when it comes to going to the finals. Even though he lost, I got to give him that respect.
He did go 8 straight years, too.
Yeah,
8 straight years. Like, he was tired.
Almost
Also, something that's not brought up about Jordan, the one thing I'll hold against him that's like an asterisk on his resume, he took a break in the middle of a three-peat. I understand his father died. I'm not trying to put that on anybody, but it did help him because if he had stayed after he three-peated, he probably would have lost to Houston. He probably wouldn't, like, because his legs were tired. Like, he was exhausted. LeBron has way more stamina. LeBron has been playing at this level for 16, 17 years, hasn't took any breaks, has continuously been in the finals, been playing deep into the playoffs more than anybody in NBA history. 8 straight finals appearances. So that means every year he's playing from October to June, while everybody's playing from October to April. He has 2 more months playing more than everybody in the league. So, and he's still more like, that dominant. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Like, Jordan was able to take a break for, like, at least 2 years and then come back and three-peat and then, like, retire again. Jordan really had 12, 13 years of a career. LeBron's already at 17 and has surpassed everything Jordan's ever done besides winning 6 rings. Now, if LeBron just had at least, like, a 500 level record in the finals, like, the fact that it's 3-6 and it's so lopsided, I'm like, that's too crazy. Now, if LeBron was, like, 5-4, I'm like, yeah, he's the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? But because he's lost so many times, I'm like, I can't justify putting him above MJ. Like, because 3-6, I'm like, you don't got to be perfect. But I'm like, if you at least win most of your final appearances, I'll give you that. That's my takeaway. But I do believe losing in the finals is more of an accomplishment than losing in the earlier rounds. But me as a competitor, it's like, if I get to the highest peak of the mountain, I don't want to fall off there. I want to fall off in the beginning. I'd rather fall off in the beginning and never have a chance at all. Because me being so close and tasting that victory, it's going to hurt more than me losing early in the playoffs. But all that just goes back to Jordan having Pippen. If Jordan didn't have Pippen, he probably wouldn't have any rings. The way he plays is not championship basketball. That's the same way James Harden plays now. You need a Robin.
Agreed.
But yeah. This was a great talk, guys. I appreciate you, John, for joining us. If everybody doesn't know, follow Only John on Instagram. He also has a YouTube channel, so check him out. I'll put the link in our bio as soon as we're done with this. But I appreciate all of you for tuning in. And if any of you guys have anything you want to say, you can say it right now.
Appreciate you guys for having me. You know what I'm saying? This is well overdue. I'm going to be collabing a lot more down the line. You feel me?
Sure.
And I'm saying this is a good talk.